Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the ESL India Premiership Summer Seasons Master League. I'm your host, Angela, and today I'm joined with a very special guest who's been with me through Clash Royale, Counter-Strike, and now for the final game of today, DOTA 2. Gautam, how was your day at the desk?
It was an excellent day, by the way, today. I had a lot of fun. We ended up analyzing all three games now.
Yeah.
And basically, the shift from Clash Royale to Counter-Strike to Dota 2, I'll get to experience everything today.
Yeah.
But, however, not a lot of people know this. I do play a lot of Dota 2, and I am horrible.
An amazing axe player. I hear an amazing axe player.
Yes, I've been running a lot of axe lately. For some reason, I feel that axe is kind of fits in all situations, but I'm having a little hard time lately because I first pick axe and then you get counted.
You get counted really bad. That
it's all range hero lineup then. It's like, we're going to stay away from this guy.
Yeah.
Not going to touch him. But today, exciting game.
Yes, today is a very exciting game. And talking about exciting games, we're going to have ATE Gaming going against Team Akatsuki. Now, we've already seen ATE play in Counter-Strike where they took the victory. I hope their luck continues in the next game for them. So let's quickly see what ATE Gaming Dota 2 squad is all about. Alright, so that is Team ATE Gaming. As of now, they sit 8 on the board. They have only collected 3 points for themselves, even though they have played about 3 matches. They've taken 1 victory, 2 losses, and that's where you get your 3 points. Most of their players are from Bombay, but Smoke and Zeus are also part of the team play from Kolkata. They are a very interesting team. They have 5 individual players who have actually taken part in a lot of tournaments, and they even won the U-Cypher. They have won IESC at another tournament. So looking pretty strong. And
I wanted to ask you is because I've not seen a lot of these players part of the Premiership. Have they spent a lot of time in Premiership prior to this, or have we been seeing them in different teams? Because those names that we just not saw right now, I don't recognize all of those.
Well, they've all individually, I've seen them play in variety teams, but together, this is the first time they are playing the ESL India Premiership. They entered, I think, after they played the Starter, the Challenger, and they're sitting in Masters, and I think they're also an invited team this year.
Yes, ATE was given a direct invite into the Premiership, and let's hope these guys can live up to the name as well. We saw a Counter-Strike match just prior to this, and ATE did end up winning that match. So now these guys have huge responsibilities on their shoulders to kind of win this match and make a breakthrough. But the second team is not a small team to just roll over and, die.
And while we talk about how AT is new to the ESL India Premiership, today they play against a team who has been part of the ESL India Premiership for a very long time. Team Akatsuki came in from the Starter Cup, entered the Challenger, made that spot 1 in 2017, and they got an invitation into the Masters League. So let's see Team Akatsuki. Alright, and that is Team Akatsuki. As of now, they are sitting with only 1 victory for themselves, and they are kind of already played 5 games. A little tough run for them as of now in the ESL India Premiership. Also, to put to this, they had a little bit of a roster exchange over there, a little bit of shuffle, and as we know, Nepal is not really very big when it comes to Dota 2. So Sagar is always looking out for new players, trying to find the best. But I commend them to always being there and always they've not missed a single match as of now in the ESL India Premiership. And for me, that is very nice to see their commitment, their consistency, and I think even you have heard this name so many times.
Yes, they're very committed and very much big fans of Naruto, and we see 2 Naruto characters being their name. So I'm a big fan of Naruto also. So
I used to watch some.
Yes, but I think I've seen like all 600 episodes or something.
Wow.
Not something that I would recommend anyone getting into now because it's just too many episodes of it. It's just It'll destroy your life, by the way. So draft is live. So which
Draft is live. ATA Gaming going out and banning of the Shadow Shaman, Witch Doctor, and Gyrocopter. Very nice bans coming in there. Going to just play their cards safe. Akatsuki, meanwhile, going to ban it. The Dark Willow, the Pang, and the Tiny. Going to quickly pick up that Sladar for themselves and giving ATA the second 2 picks as they start their draft. They can opt to pick up their supports at the beginning itself. They don't really want Akatsuki to have another very strong support. If that is Sladar going in the offlane, it's going to be Axel mostly playing that Sladar. Last time I saw this team play, they had a substitute who was playing the 4th row, and that kind of ruined the whole game for them. So I'm hoping that this time around they don't really have another support. They're playing with their full lineup because Akatsuki is strongest when they play as their main 5. ATA Gaming going to respond with the very favorite Sand King over there. Disruptor still available if they want to opt to go there as pick number 2. They also like to play the Rubik quite a bit. So I'm seeing if they're going to opt to go for that. They could also opt to go with let's see, Rubik and Disruptor. I think these are the 2 options that they can see as supports. I've seen them play before. They're pretty good at it. In the mid, of course, they do like to play the Invoker. So
what do you think about the 2 bans that ATA Gaming has put up? Shaman and Witch Doctor, 2 very good control supports that they've decided to kind of ban out right off the bat. They're saying that, hey, we don't want anything to slow us down or control. And Akatsuki actually answering that with a Sladar, where they're saying, hey, we cannot take these 2 supports will control the heroes, enemy heroes. So like, okay, we'll go for Sladar. So a blink stun that Sladar crush that he does is something ATEs, maybe something's going for a hero that probably will be kited a lot. Maybe with DC and Ursa, I don't know.
The thing with the Witch Doctor and the Shadow Shaman, as of now in this particular 7.13 of DOTA 2, they are very, very strong.
Yes, they are.
They have been devastating, and ATA Gaming really don't want to go up against the Witch Doctor because there's not really much you can reply to that unless you completely counterpick him with example an Omni Knight or an Oracle. So seeing that, you know, they really don't want those 2 in the opposite lane because they could get countered with their present lineup that they're choosing to play. The Leshrac, of course, being a beautiful support over there. I'm hoping to see whether the player is able to manage to play that hero pretty well.
You think the Leshrac is going to be support, or I think he's going to be mid?
I think it's optional. I think they will not send him mid because it will be a little risky for them.
Okay.
They could mostly send him in the safe lane and maybe opt to go for an Invoker mid because they do like to play the Invoker. They also like to play a Void a lot. But for now, the bans are going to be the Lifestealer and Juggernaut coming out there from
notice how the
gaming.
bans have now shifted over to hard carries now. They're kicking a lot of hard carries out of the lane, out of the game right now. Gyrocopter, you have the Lifestealer and the Juggernaut completely banned out. And on the other hand, we have some utility heroes being banned by Akatsuki, where we have a Tiny, Monkey King and Razor being banned out. And this question was brought up earlier also, like why is Razor being banned so much? Is that how much of a terror? I know your Rubik pick came through, so that is interesting. But coming back to Razor, why is Razor such a threat? I know he, like, you know, you put fuels on him or whatever, you just zap away.
It's basically just the static link. If you were to just put it down for me in one sentence, it would be the static link. At the early stages of the game, Razor going mid lane against any hero, he's just going to steal damage and get really strong. And if Razor is going to have double the damage at an early stage, he's going to farm faster. If he farms faster, he's going to level up faster. He's going to be a huge trouble for the second person in the lane. And it also is very hard to gank a Razor because he's pretty tanky. So like most of the teams just don't like to play against something which, you know, they have to put a lot of effort into just to kill him. And Razor's also got a lot of updates. He's been buffed quite a bit, so they're just like, I'm going to play this safe. I really don't want to play against this hero. Now
they've gone into the reserve time. They're really taking their time to picking this hero. Now they've gone for Silencer. I think that's an excellent pick looking at what ATE currently has. And I'm really interested in seeing how ATE is going to go ahead and plan around the Silencer now, because the first 3 heroes on ATE side are going to be devastated by that ulti of Silencer.
Definitely, and ATE going to reply to that with the Void. It's one of their favorite pickups again. They also, this makes me think that ATE could maybe send a Meepo mid. They like to even send a Meepo mid, and it works for them.
You know what is quite interesting? All the things that you've been talking about, it's actually happening there. So if Akatsuki just give you a call before ATE team is playing, you could tell them exactly what to ban out.
I think most of the teams,
they pick Void. You talk about Rubik, they pick Rubik there, and I was just like, wow, you seem to have figured out ATE gaming pretty well. And Akatsuki now answering with their hard carry. That's
full of surprises. I mean, this is the first time Akatsuki has picked up the PA. Sorry, they have also decided to go with the silencer, which is not one of their conventional pickups. They did pick that in their first game in the ESL India Premiership, but other than that, they've not really worked with that hero. This also makes me think that's going to be mostly an Omni Knight off lane, Sladar and silencer in the safe lane with the PA, but that could be a little risky bet for them. The Death Prophet still available in the pool. The Queen of Pain is out there. The Templar Assassin is still to be picked up, but for now, the OD, the massacring OD, is out of the pool for now. Also, it doesn't really fare well against an Omni Knight, so I wouldn't really see Akatsuki. Actually, yeah, Akatsuki could have picked up the OD. It would have worked in their favor with the Omni Knight. So just gonna get a quick ban.
They banned that out completely. They don't want to see OD. Definitely, they don't want to see. If you remember a couple of patches ago, where Omni Knight's repel was pretty OP back then. It used to be fairly long, and then PA and the Omni combo used to be crazy.
It's devastating.
Yes, it's the right word is disgusting.
It's disgusting. That
but
could
now,
be the other word.
Now they have nerfed the Omni Knight, so that's not too much of an issue. But still, especially high ground pushes and everything, PA could be a problem, because imagine this free BKB basically.
Exactly. Like if you don't have to invest into one whole item for PA, which is basically the BKB, because as soon as she gets the BKB, she's unstoppable. She has everything inbuilt, whether it's crit, it's damage, it's life steal also, you basically get it. So it's basically with an Omni Knight, you've secured your PA not going to die, and she has a Sladar to cut off the armor, and now it all comes down to what they're going to go mid. Now looking at their draft, I'm hoping that Akatsuki opt to go for an Invoker, but ATA Gaming, as far as I see these guys, they would opt to go either for a Shadow Fiend. They like to play the Shadow Fiend, works well with the Void combo. Also, if Rubik is able to steal at the right time, I think ATA has a good shot. But if Akatsuki play the way they've always played with that 5-man, let's push together, I think they've got this secured. But Queen of Pain.
And finally, we see Queen of Pain coming out.
I'm a little worried, actually, because the last time Akatsuki picked up the Queen of Pain, it was Madhura, their captain, Sagar, who was playing it mid, and it didn't really work in their favor because they kind of sent Dreamy, who is basically their mid, in the carry role, and maybe that also led to a little bit of conflict in calls, because I feel like most of the time Madhura is the one who gives the calls, but he had a little bit of struggle in the mid lane. In his defense, I mean, he did play against Signify, so it's a little risky
Signify is it's an exception for the Indian Dota scene right now, and we don't have a lot of competition. Like, I'm not saying the rest of the teams are not as great, but Signify is just sitting on another level, which there are a couple of teams that are trying to break that barrier and get close to them.
True.
We've seen good performances coming out of ROG
Esports
and Wipeout. We saw good gameplay coming out of them. And if you remember correctly, we saw Akatsuki playing Viper as the last pick, by the way. Akatsuki played Signify in the LAN event, and they almost took a game off them.
That's true, and I think it all comes down to how well you study your opponent's picks. And I mean, as an analyst myself, I just basically go back home and I do a read through what are the most picked heroes by the team, what are they good at playing, and I think Viper coming in there from Team ATE is a very good pickup. It sustains well
considering
against
the fact that Silencer is on the other side, and let's not forget the PA
and the Queen of Pain, because Viper is one of those heroes that can sustain against the Queen of Pain, and I think with
Queen of Pain is going to have a hard time, very hard time in the lane, because the Viper is going to just annoy the hell out of it. When Viper comes in the lane, I'm like, just leave this lane. It's better off just leaving the lane. But I would like to see them stand up against that Viper and see if they can get some good last hits. And
if you had to put your bets, who would it be on?
Right now, I will like to put my bets on... I think I'm going to go with Akatsuki for this game, because I like their draft a bit better. But ATE has a big trump card, Viper, if they can do a lot with that Viper. And if he gets through in mid-game with a lot of farm, I think that'll be their game to lose. So if ATE capitalizes on Viper, I think they're good to go. So.
Is ATA going to continue on their victory squad with their CSGO team too? Or is Akatsuki going to make sure that they've got this one in the bag? We'll find out very shortly as we head into the game with our casters, Vivek and Floki, so you guys can take it and go.
Okay folks, welcome back to ESL India Premiership Summer Season. My name is Floki, joining me is Vivek, and you are watching Team Akatsuki versus Team... One second, I'm disconnected, I'm so sorry for this.
Yeah, we
And
got
let's see.
Akatsuki facing off versus ATE. Floke's having a couple of issues with his camera control. He's going to quickly reconnect. Clearly, he's been snoozing during the draft, but I've got the draft covered. I'm actually leaning towards the ATE draft. It's a much more well-rounded lineup. They've got control, they've got the Viper with the break to deal with the PA. They've got tower takedown potential once Leshrak gets a couple of points in the Edict, and they've also got a better track record here. Floki has disconnected. I'm sure the production team will be controlling the camera until then. But I want to talk a little bit more about ATE's track record because some of you might not have kept up with all the games until now. ATE's first game of Dreamy, just getting the courier sniped at mid. What the hell? And first blood as well. Floki, I hope you're back.
I'm trying. I've restarted my Dota. There was an issue with my camera. It just wouldn't let me move. Back in
Okay.
game now, and I'm gonna reconnect. Hopefully it's gonna work this time. So yeah, talking about that first blood kill. Who's it on? Who ended up dying?
I saw the courier snipe and simultaneously the first blood happened. It was the silencer falling to smoke on the Sand King in that off lane. Are you still not able to move
No,
your
no, I'm
camera?
back in. Okay, so I'm back
Okay.
in, and yeah,
Bottom.
I am
Look
doing
bottom.
camera control. Oh, bottom lane. What's happening? Madara is dropping low. That's what's happening. So he doesn't have a salve. Okay, never mind. This Lada TP didn't give him a salve, I think.
Yep.
Okay.
So I want to talk about AT's track record a bit. They've been looking rather decent. Their first game was versus Council, which they ended up winning rather convincingly. They played versus Cullies, against whom they did end up losing. I think they played another game so far. They played versus the ROG Titans, which they ended up losing as well. So just pulling up some stats here. We've also got the points table, which can come up if production dust will it to come up. So they played 3 games, 2 losses, 1 win, and they need this win badly. They've got to stay in the top 4. It's top 4 that does end up progressing towards the land, which is taking part in the next month or so. ATE, they've still got 2 phases. This is phase 1. At the end of phase 1, we're going to have a quick relegation promotion kind of thing happening between the Challenger League and the Masters League. ATE want to be in the top 4, at least not in the bottom 4, but down bottom.
Oh no,
Slada.
down bottom, what's happening?
Yeah,
Slada
Slada ends up following.
Damn. Looks like the safe lane is working out for. I mean, this off lane is working out for ATE.
Yeah.
Smoke. He was playing carry for ATE, if I recollect correctly.
No.
Yeah, I do remember him playing the Faceless Void at some point in this Masters League. In fact, I remember casting that game. So, looks like he did switch roles. I think it was early on though in the Masters League.
Okay.
The initial few games, that's probably where he was playing carry.
Okay. I've been following Smoke. He was part of a team from Calcutta. That's how he got started in the Indian professional circuit. I think back then he played the offlane as well. He played a bit of 4 position with Buriza, the same Buriza lineup that went on to win Taiwan Excellence, and now he seems to be kind of fluid between the 4 and the 3 position.
Yep.
Down bottom though,
Lane,
Madara.
There's another power strike available on Smoke, and they might find the kill. They certainly should.
Yep.
Smoke though, is he gonna die for it? Looks like he will. I think that's Madara who... Wait. Who is this guy? Who's this Lada? 369. Okay, let's just call him 369. 369 comes in and grabs the kill.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, it's still a trade that favors ATE because you're getting a carry and you're giving up a Sand King. I mean, Sand King will happily die for the enemy carry multiple times.
Yep. I'm actually a bit perplexed by what this Silence is doing with his time. He's actually stacking the medium camp now. I'm not sure for whom. Have Akatsuki already 4 minutes in assume that
Oh wait, Smoke? Yeah, that got popped. That got broken. Smoke is gonna get spotted out as he did pop the enemy Smoke. He's trying to juke away with the Burrow Strike, probably go to the high ground. Crush flies through. He's taking a fair amount of damage, but is gonna be able to Burrow Strike away. And 369 might be in some trouble. He's actually taking a fair amount of damage. Dreamy is here, but the Viper's chasing him as well. And now Smoke. He has to tuck tail and run as he's certainly gonna end up falling here. Gives up on his life, stands still. Dreamy. He's gonna TP out.
Smoke had 7-1 charges. He paused for a moment to micro his illusions and try and get a deny off in the middle of that last word. That's what Smoke was trying to do.
I mean, it
Because
was
there
one-
was, I think Dreamy did throw out a Shadow Strike on him. And he was trying to get the deny off, which was a really ambitious play. But if it worked, it would have been in one of our highlight clips.
Oh, indeed. That would have been a huge play because illusions barely deal any damage nowadays.
Yeah.
Well, who do you think is coming out on top in this laning phase? I think it's ATE because mid lane is going in their favor.
Yep. Already Akatsuki are losing 2 out of 3 lanes. They're losing the safe lane badly. Quite badly, in fact. I mean, you can break down the net worth charts, and the Phantom Assassin really struggling. The mid lane isn't looking that good either. I was a bit surprised with this Queen of Pain pick up. There's so much team fight on the side of AT and down mid.
Oh, mid, what's happening? Looks like the Viper did get gone upon, but he's trying to TP out. He will get the Queen of Pain meanwhile and will be successful in TPing out to the shrine.
Yeah, he did manage to drop the Viper Strike on the Queen of Pain. Dreamy did have a TP, but didn't end up TPing out of there. Which really shouldn't have happened.
Well, I mean, in the heat of the moment, sometimes you forget about things. You know, you're playing in the Masters League. There's a bit of a pressure on you to win.
Absolutely. And there is a lot of pressure on Akatsuki because they've been having a really rough run here in...
Once again, Madara is actually falling pretty damn low. Zeus might be able to find the kill with the lightning, and indeed he will. Smoke? Is he going to chase for more? Does have 17-1 charges. Zeus now getting turned around upon. 369 is a double damage room, but with the wand he goes back up to full health, and now August is in trouble. But Smoke, he looks like he's not going to have a fun time either as Dreamy comes in and with the scream secures the kill. Man, this early game for Akatsuki, it's not going well. What do you think is that they need to do differently at this moment to...
what can Akatsuki do differently?
Yep.
I don't know. There are a lot of issues with the Akatsuki draft. There's a severe lack of lockdown. They got some team fight, not the best. Silencer can like halt AT in their tracks, and that could turn team fights. But that's a really big cooldown to rely on. The Slada's got to get his Blink Dagger, and Dreamy's got to stop dying.
Yep, Dreamy ends up falling once again. This Leshak is getting a lot more out of his lane than I think he should have.
I mean, I think with the new patch, and I want to say new patch, with the patch that's been in effect since a good 2 months, it's really important to understand how and what kind of side lanes you should be running. You're no more drafting a safe lane, tri lane just to deal with one off laner and what those supports can do by A, roaming to the mid lane, or B, later on in the game, in team fights in the mid to late game. You gotta think of a support that can be effective in the side lane. And both the Silencer and the Slada, I mean, they can do stuff, but you put them in a 2v2 situation versus a Leshrac and a Sand King, and Akatsuki, they're coming short here in the drafting department because both these supports can't really do too much.
Yep.
And Dreamy,
He's
mid lane.
falling once again. Oh boy. He's gonna need the Viper Strike and certainly end up falling. Okay. Well, that just happened.
Okay. Madara.
Okay, there
Okay.
seems to be a bit of a problem on our end, folks. Vivek's just gonna quickly reconnect, and
I'm okay actually. I think I've got it sorted.
Okay, cool.
Guys, if you don't understand, it's just generally that Dota TV is a bit of an issue, and spectating is bugged out in the game. It's one of the many obstacles you face when you try a hand at casting, but you got it sorted. Production's on top of it, we're on top of it,
Yep.
but down bottom, Madara, barely survives.
Sick Phantom Strike dodge there.
They might find the Rubik here. Rubik isolated, Leshrac trying to buy time. Kalnayak Looking to run, another dagger slowing him down. He's gonna end up falling. Silencer racking up the end, but 369 looking for the wraparound.
Ooh.
Doesn't even need to come into position as Madara has the damage.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that they didn't instantly disengage. I think the right course of action as
But look at this Dreamy. Trying to go for the Invis rune, ends up finding it. But there's a sentry, Kalayak, with detection. As and when needed, finds the Queen of Pain, finds a D-ward as well.
Oh yeah. That was quite surprising. I certainly didn't expect Kalnai to have a sentry there. I mean, there's no inherent reason for him to, apart from D-warding, of course. And that sentry secured him a kill. Dreamy is now 2-4-0 on his Queen of Pain. Laning phase against the Viper is not the best for a Queen of Pain, but she does manage to catch up in terms of ganks and rotations when enemy team does start diving.
Okay, so this is the change in AD's lineup. It was Kalnayak who was playing the off lane in the past. I think they switched things up. Either way, at mid, Smoke with the Burrow Strike. He's got the Omni Knight. I think he will be able to get the Purification off. And Axel, he's healthy for the time being, but they have caught out the Silencer. August, slowed down by the Viper Strike, might end up falling. The Guardian Angel is there, but there's so much magical damage on the side of ADE that they just don't give a damn.
Yeah, the change to Viper Strike and the change to Nether Toxin and Poison Attack.
Smoke, he could have got out 369, was caught napping, misses on the Burrow Strike, but there's the mystery player with the Chronosphere. Smoke has the power on cooldown for a bunch of seconds. It's not even needed. Dreamy gets caught in the Chronosphere. I think the time dilation made sure that he wouldn't get the blink off. Not really sure. His blink was on cooldown. I think he blinked towards his own shrine, and now AD just controlling the jungle, controlling the map, dictating the pace of the game as Akatsuki with a 5,000 net worth disadvantage or having that tier 2 task pushed in.
Oh yeah. This is something that Akatsuki didn't account for by any means. The Viper pick in the last definitely threw a curveball. I think they expected Queen of Pain to have a much easier time, and as a result, they thought they would come out on top, but now they're in this awkward
Smoke,
position.
369, not really sure what he's doing down there. The Sonic Wave along with the Global Silence, they'll find the Leshrac. They're trying to bring down Rival. They've got the Crush, they've got the Corrosive Haze. Actually, they didn't toss it out on the Viper, and 369, he's gonna end up falling. The Viper Strike, netting the Viper 1 kill, but he does end up falling in Akatsuki. They did end up finding 2 cores. I think it's safe to say at this point that Leshrac is the core here and not the Sand King.
Oh yeah. Leshrac is definitely the core. Smoke, I don't think he ever intended to be the core.
Yep.
Leshrac was the one who was getting more XP and taking all the kills. Smoke is not doing too bad for himself either though, because he's helped his team out a lot early with his rotations. Died a few times, but he did secure a kill each time he died.
Yeah, I think 4 position Sand King, 12 minutes in, level 7. It's looking good. He's got the maxed out Burrow, he's got the epicenter as well. And Akatsuki, they're doing something that might actually grossly misfire.
Wait, what?
But yeah, Axel just drops the repel and TP's out.
Uh-oh.
But August? What the? I don't even know what to say about that. When you got an Omni Knight running in, just to soak up all the stuns, why the hell did the Silencer not get himself out of there?
I have no clue. I think this was probably miscommunication.
Yeah.
Or I think some things are just better left unsaid, like you mentioned.
And look at this, Madara. He's struggling to find space to farm. Smoke luckily whips on the Burrow Strike. Madara's gonna be okay. Madara does end up dropping one quick dagger.
Yep. Good thing is Smoke has Tranquil, so he's gonna regen back up.
Yeah. Madara's also... I mean, he's trying to build into an extremely ambitious item here. Which is the Battle Fury.
Well,
And
I think it's the right item, right? Because at this point, you haven't got the start you want, so you probably want to recover and look to hit that mid-game timing, where Sladar's gonna have his blink and you're gonna be able to take fights.
You know,
Speaking
I've had
of Sladar,
this... okay. I've had this conversation multiple times, and you spoke of the Slaughter. He's gonna end up falling. He does get the crush off, but the epicenter's there. The crush not coming in when needed, and 369. He's gonna end up falling. Ends up giving away 171 gold. Down bottom, Zeus with the Yule Scepter, getting ambitious here, trying to bring down the Queen of Pain. Does have the damage with the Pulse Nova. Dreamy looks it on with that Sonic Wave, and Dreamy had the blink but didn't blink away. What the hell is going on? While up top, they find the Omni Knight as well on the side of ATE.
Oh yeah. Kills all over the map for ATE Gaming. Looks like the last Viper pick really did sort of completely mess up the idea that Akatsuki wanted to follow. They didn't expect the bot lane to be so strong. They did think that the PA would have some free farm. And once PA would have had the Desolator and Slata would have had some levels in Blink, this Viper would be melting. This Viper would be a non-factor in this game. But because the Viper had such a good start, A, because he was against the Queen of Pain, B, because he's a bloody Viper, I think that's really what ended up costing Akatsuki.
Void. He does walk in with that Shadow Blade. Global Silence being committed. Axel does have the Purification. They want the Void, but he could turn. He doesn't have the Chrono Space. Gonna time walk out of there. Quick Telekinesis. Connect with the Stolen Crush. Buying time. Steals the Purification, but will not be able to get it off as the crit comes through. Viper held in place with the Crush is next. The Corrosive Haze does kind of do a number on his armor. They will be able to bring down the Viper, but the Void does manage to get away. And it does cost Akatsuki the Slada.
It also costed them the tier 1 tower bot, which was taken by Leshrac.
Yeah.
This Leshrac is starting to snowball quite scarily. He solo killed the Queen of Pain, has the use completed for a while, and he's sitting on 1.8k gold. I think the next item of choice for this Leshrac should probably be a Shiva's Guard, or perhaps something like the Lotus Orb, but he's queuing up the Aeon Disc.
I like it.
Okay, never mind, he changed again. He changed to Bloodstone. I dislike.
I like the Aeon Disc.
I like the Aeon Disc.
Mid lane, Dreamy might end up falling. The Telekinesis is there. Stolen Scream. Not doing enough. Zeus coming in, looking for the split Earth.
Could have used him actually.
Up top. Omni Knight, he's got the Guardian Angel, but he doesn't want to end up popping it. He's going to end up falling. Akatsuki. I think there is a chronic issue with Akatsuki, and that is that they lose their lanes badly. But at least in the past, I've noticed that they don't give away unnecessary kills. This time around, that Omni Knight dying up top was absolutely unnecessary, and it could have been avoided. There was no reason for him to go pushing out all by himself, and he ends up falling. Dreamy, I don't know. I think I have mixed feelings. I really like Akatsuki, but they're so inconsistent at times, and
yeah, that sort of really hurts to watch them, because last Premiership as well, they were certainly doing very well, and they were one of the few teams that actually managed to give Signify a bit of a run for their money.
Yeah.
But
they've gone in with the power of the epicenter. One come through the global silence. Buying time for Madara with the screen. They'll find the Sand King. ADE looking to disengage, but Axel in no man's land doesn't have the repel. Gets control. Might end up falling. Does have the Guardian Angel, but the magic damage from the Leshrac doing a fair amount of work with that Lightning Storm. They will find the kill. Khalnayak, well, he's okay for the time being in Madara with that Yule Scepter. Controlled by the split out. Will end up falling. It's a double kill for Khalnayak, and August is being chased. Rival just running down the silencer. The damage over time will be enough. Dreamy walks in, blinks out, and Akatsuki, they buy back on their Phantom Assassin.
Oh god.
They've got the blink on 369, but they don't have any real catch, and the Phantom Assassin ends up buying back for nothing.
Yeah, that certainly didn't go the way they were expecting it to for the side of Akatsuki.
Yeah.
And now this might be even more trouble, because Void has a Shadow Blade.
Yeah.
He might find another kill.
He doesn't have the Chronosphere, but he...
Oh yeah. Let's talk a bit about Akatsuki, right? So in the previous Masters League, Akatsuki was having a better run than most of the teams. Like I said earlier, they were the only few teams that managed to give Signify a bit of a run for their money.
Yeah, but Akatsuki started out really rough. They started out not looking that good, but they became good over time.
Oh yeah.
And it feels like all that effort has gone down the drain.
Indeed. Smoke.
Smoke just sitting on the high ground dispels the Smoke of Deceit coming out from Akatsuki. 369 is Blink Dag on cooldown for a bit. Might look to catch them. Yeah. Akatsuki popping a Smoke of Deceit. Just hoping to get in position to defend this tier 2 tower down bottom. And they aren't going to be able to do so. I mean, they're going to try. Dreamy is pulling the creep wave.
I like how Smoke is doing justice to his name, constantly dispelling smokes on the side of Akatsuki and making sure they get nothing out of it.
Yeah.
Also, talking about Akatsuki, it seems like in this Masters League and in this phase in particular, they seem to only have one idea, and that is snowball out in the early game, look to have a really strong mid game and close it out. But time and again, we have seen that they fall into these traps where the lanes don't go as well as they think they will. And as a result, they end up going into damage control mode and just start playing a lot safer when their lineup is not really meant to be the ones on the back foot. I mean, they can certainly come back from this, but 13k net worth lead, 20 minutes in for ATE. If there is one way Akatsuki can come back into this game, I think it's going to be on the back of a Roshan contest. And they do have the tools to contest it. You have the blink on Sladar.
They might lose Dreamy up top. Smoke is there. The splitter setting up for the Barrow Strike. The Pulse Nova doing a fair amount of work. Dreamy's going to get away with 369. Just stopping a bit too much damage from the left track. Does end up falling. Kalak even chipping in with that Fade Bolt.
He blinked in at the worst possible moment. He blinked in just as the Sand King got his Barrow Strike up, and as a result he ended up falling.
Yeah.
Certainly helps that Barrow Strike is an instant cast spell. With what I mean when I say that is that it has no cast point, that is, it does not have a delay before the spell is used.
Yeah.
While Sadar's spell does so. Well, they are going to move into Roshan and Akatsuki. I think this is the best chance of coming back into this game. They should know this is happening.
I don't think they know, and even if they know, they aren't moving quick enough.
Yeah,
It's too late right now.
Well, Axel is certainly not there, and boy, he's gonna pick up the Aegis.
I mean, I don't think all hope is gone yet for Akatsuki, right? They've got the Vanguard on the Phantom Assassin along with the Nyasha, so she can somewhat survive in these fights and just hope that sometime in the course of a really drawn out team fight, the RNG will start to kick in. Axel has a hood, which Akatsuki badly need versus all the magical damage coming out from ATE. Not sure if the Vanguard was the right choice though. I think the only source of physical damage is the Void, right?
Yeah, I think a BKB early on would have suited much better.
Akatsuki, hold on, they've smoked up.
Oh yeah,
they see rival. They're gonna go in. The crush is there. Dreamy with the whale. They're trying to burst down the Quap and they'll do it. Global silence committed. Akatsuki get a pick off and this was crucial. 44 seconds without the Viper. ATE have to wait a bit. Wait for the Viper to respawn, rejoin them. If I was Akatsuki, I don't know if you can try and force another fight. It's actually risky.
No, I don't think you should try to force a fight. With the skill you just got, you should secure more map control, push these lanes out, split push a little, try to force out some TPs. But you know what's not helping Akatsuki right now? The fact that they haven't taken a single tier 1 tower except for the bottom lane. And the bottom lane is completely pushed in, so there's no chance that they actually move around the map and try to do something. They do have Omni Knight ulti though, so that should help them inside the Chronosphere. But that's also a big if. Axel is in the mid lane and he's trying to take this tier 1 tower down. Well, looks like for now, AT are gonna take a break, wait for the Viper to reach the bottom lane.
I think Akatsuki, they've got to recognize the fact that Viper's at main. He did commit his TP to move mid. They're going to try and probably move bottom and try and bring down the Void. 369, he'll do just that. Goes in with the crush, controls the Void. Repel. Stolen by Kalnak, thrown out on the Void, and there's the epicenter. Not really connecting on anyone. The Chronosphere, nice to look at, doing a fair amount of work on the Omni Knight. Axel looking for that Guardian Angel, will not get it off. Barrow Strike controlling the Phantom Assassin. Nether Toxin not even being thrown out. Buybacks coming up from Akatsuki as the Guardian Angel buys them time. Mystery player being controlled by the Split Earth, keeping that Omni Knight in position while Sand King being chased, gets the stolen Guardian Angel from Kalak's Rubik, and with the Nether Toxin and all that magic damage from rival, they might be able to bring down Axel, who's still tanky and still alive, but the tier 3 tower has fallen. Kalak doing some real work there, stealing both Repel and the GA. 369 goes in, drops a crush, stolen by Kalak. There's the crits coming in, they want to bring down Zeus, but PA, controlled by the Barrow Strike, held in place with the Splitter, might end up falling. That's Repel. Not really doing too much, and there's rival chasing for more. They want that Barrow Strike, but they've got the stolen crush from Kalnayak. They'll bring down the silencer. And ATE, they forced buybacks. There was a dieback on the Slada. And Axel, he might fall as well.
As much as I want to give Akatsuki some credit that there could be a possibility that they're holding, I just don't see it. Chances are looking extremely bleak. Void still has the Aegis, has a Lincoln Sphere as well at this point, so it's a bit harder to initiate onto him. While I don't agree with the Lincoln Sphere pick, it does add to its survivability a bit more and sort of helps him avoid
I think
daggers that Phantom Assassin throws out.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. The Lincoln Sphere pickup somewhat questionable. Just adds that extra layer of survivability. But what I want to see Akatsuki do is Chronosphere's on cooldown, Epicenter's on cooldown. You got the Sonic Wave, you got the Slaughter, you got the Silencer. You want to go pick a fight now?
Yeah, indeed. Well, for now it looks
I
like
think this is the best scenario for them to pick a fight. You're either hoping for two things, right? You pick a fight now, and you win it, and you hold on, and you buy time, and you push out the lanes and force rotations, and probably take those tier 1s down. Or you're hoping that ATE comes marching up your high ground, and they goof up. Right now, Akatsuki are relying on ATE to make a mistake, and that seems really unlikely.
As much as I'd like to say that there's a chance that Akatsuki can come back in this game, the problem is that even if they do manage to find a good fight and fight multiple heroes out of position, the side of AT is just so damn farmed. This Void can easily take out 2 heroes by himself if he gets a decent Chronosphere off. That is, he catches the Omni Knight in it and probably another person like the Silencer or the Slaughter or the Queen of Pain.
Now the Chronospheres come back off cooldown. Mystery player going in, catches the Omni Knight. Axel, the medic, control. Good global silence. He got the Sonic Wave clipping a bunch, but AT don't seem to be too bothered. Mystery player doing work will bring down the Omni Knight, but there is control coming through, and it's controlled from smoke. The epicenter, the Power Strike clips too, and Akatsuki, they've already tapped out.
GG, well played. Akatsuki, they give it a valiant effort, but AT are just better today. I think they had a lot better lanes, and this is something that Akatsuki never sort of accounted for, and as a result they ended up losing their lanes and losing the game.
Yeah, Akatsuki, I mean, I think they really have to find a way to ensure that they stay in the Masters League. They've had way too many losses in I don't know. I hope we see that Akatsuki, which we saw last year in the ESL India Premiership. But folks, that's it as far as today's Dota 2 broadcast is concerned. My name is Vivek. With me was Floki. You can find us on our social media at facebook.com/VivekCasting or facebook.com/FlokiDota. I'm going to throw it over to Angela and a man that looks like Adi if he kept up with his New Year resolutions. Just waiting to hear what you guys feel about this game.
AT Gaming securing the second victory for their squad today. They should be sleeping very happy tonight because both CS and Dota 2 squads have taken victories for themselves and they also move higher on that board. Gautam, what are your thoughts about that game?
Well, my thoughts right now are the fact that, my prediction, just like my MMR, didn't do so well. And I was hoping Akatsuki will come out of it strong. But I did mention, to kind of save my own back when we started, was the fact that if Viper plays well, they'll have no problem. But as a whole, ATE team did well all around. Akatsuki lost all the lanes they were in, and it was just a bad day for them today. And I'm sure you have more to talk about when we talk about Akatsuki today. So why don't you take that?
I mean, ATA Gaming, of course, brilliant players out there, played beautifully well, and special shout out to that Rubik. I mean, he was playing very well. He kind of stole the Guardian Angel and the Repel at the most needed time for his team, which I kind of didn't expect him. I thought he'll steal something else, but a good call there by the Rubik. Now talking about Akatsuki in general, I mean from the beginning of the game, their warding was not on point. Their Queen of Pain literally was struggling at the mid lane. There was no real backup coming for her.
Yeah, they really needed someone to come to mid to help up QOP. But keep in mind, we had PA who was losing her supports. And she was facing two players. She was facing Sand King. She was facing the Leshrac there. And the moment the two supports used to roll down to mid, she would be in a lot of trouble. And she's losing her life there. And it was just a hectic game for a support also, because not your carry needs space, and then your mid needs space, and then how do you how do you save both of them at the same time?
No,
And
but that's a choice Akatsuki made when they took supports like the Sladar and the Silencer. First of all, the Silencer is never supposed to rotate. He is just supposed to be sitting there with that PA and trying to get a level 6, get that global online, be more useful. Meanwhile, even the Sladar, see, he's not really supposed to be a fourth role. He's actually an offlaner. He needs that Blink Dagger to be more
he needs the money to
prominent.
be
And as
activated.
far, I think Akatsuki is just a little bit, I mean, they're just struggling because basically their fourth and their fifth player have been changed, and because of that they are just trying out new players. They're trying to figure out. So when you talk about supports, people think that supports really don't have that much to do. They have a lot to do, because from the beginning of the game, it's a support that gives you vision, it's a support that gangs for you, it's a support that TP every time you whine at the mid lane that you need a gang. And if they are not there, how do the three other cores make their way to mid game? And basically I think at 17 minutes that was the final blow that Akatsuki got. The momentum completely dropped. Omni Knight was not even able to survive to keep the PA alive, and the Omni Knight was specially picked up just so that he can repel the PA, so she doesn't need to go ahead and buy a BKB. But it reached a point where even we all were discussing inside is that PA really needs a BKB, and that was not needed, but it became an option because her support wasn't able to stay there. Even in the top lane we saw that the Void first jumped in and killed the Omni Knight. Now he should have made sure that he was very far away. He shouldn't be in the front lines, but who else would be in front lines?
And we also saw a lot of misplays actually happening. We saw a lot of players getting caught off guard. You saw Omni getting caught up top for no reason. We saw a Silencer dying in mid when Omni was kind of doing Juggernaut things where he puts repel on himself and TP out, and for some reason Silencer thought maybe my Omni was in trouble. He kind of went in, and the moment Omni TP'd out, and guess what, they killed the Silencer there.
A lot of miscommunication. A little saddened to see Akatsuki perform. I mean, the past 2-3 games that I've seen them play, like their gameplay has kind of just fallen from the at the par that I used to see them at. So for me, on a general basis, that seeing a team so good suddenly have to face such defeats where they're not even getting to prove themselves is very difficult to see, because they are a constant team in the ESL and
it's Akatsuki we're talking about, by the way. It's a team that's been doing really well. They've been a lighthouse for Dota 2 teams in Nepal, and to see them now being out of form, for example, like the thing is, it's the team chemistry changes when two of your players are changed. So I think they need to kind of get their chemistry back together and play as a team. We know individually these guys are great players, but as a team, Dota is a team game at the end of the day. And
it's 5 people in one brain.
If they can get that communication, the chemistry between them back to what it was last year, I think they are a force to be reckoned with right now. And we're not seeing that now, by the way. And just to look back, last year these guys were like number 2, number 3 when on LAN events also. And I'm not even talking about online. At LAN events, Akatsuki had great performances. They faced off against the best in India. And same thing with, I'm going off track, but Council, they also had great performances. But right now, I don't know how well they're doing.
I mean, Council is doing fine, but I think when you give them a long break in between, it kind of takes some time for most of the teams to get back on track. And Akatsuki, I hope you guys get back on track, because you have given us some wonderful Dota. I think with that, we come to an end to today's Dota 2 game. Also, we come to an end to the day. If you guys have missed out any games, want to check it out, you can check it out on our ESL India YouTube channel. Also, subscribe to us to get a notification when we come live to you every single day of the week with all the amazing games from the ESL India Premiership. Thank you so much, Gautam, for joining me today. I hope you keep coming back to the studio and keep analyzing more fun games. I love co-hosting with you, by the way.
All right. Thank you so much, by the way. It was a lot of fun doing the analyst desk today, and I'm sure a lot of people hopefully had good things to say. So I think that's it from us. So we should do the goodbye move now.
Goodbye, guys. Take care. And this event is brought to you by HP, HyperX, Intel, and organized by Northwind Gaming. We will see you all tomorrow.